Views camera. We've been adding views to our model. We have an interior elevation views, we have a section view. All of these views will get more and more populated as we work. And what that means is the view is there. It's not a wasted view. It's not a waste to draw the view right now because as we draw in a fridge and cupboards and a sink and all of that, it's all going to start showing up in those interior elevations. Same thing with the section. As we add a roof, a ceiling, skylights, it's all going to be added to this section. And that's something which we're going to be using down the line. Now, the same thing goes for 3D camera views. How do you make a 3D camera view? Well, remember how to go to your default 3D view? You go up into the quick access toolbar, you click on the little house, and there you are. But that's not perspective. It really doesn't give a realistic feel to it. This is more of a working view. Let's just shut down that view. Let's go to the house, but this time let's drop down the list and let's go to camera. This can also be found under view, 3D view, and camera. Exact same tool. So how does this work? Well, the first thing that you're going to be doing is, where am I standing? That's your first question you're going to ask yourself. So I want to stand perhaps in the corner. I want to give as much space on this picture as I want. Now here's the trick to this. You might be inclined to say, I want to look here, so therefore I'm going to click there. But what we find with that is it creates a clipping plane, and then whatever's beyond gets cut off. Let's make that mistake just so we can see how to fix it. So I'm going to click, as my start point was right there, and now my target, I'm going to say there. Now, in this case, we can see a little bit beyond that, but let's take a look at the clipping plane while we're here. So I'm going to drop down my properties palette just in the view. So I just click in the view, and I can just drop this down. Notice how under extents, under the camera view, you have a clip offset. What if I were to put that at 5 feet and hit apply? Well, our drawing disappears. What if we go to 10 feet? Still gone. What if we go to 15 feet? Oh, you can see a little bit more, but notice how it's cut off. What if we go to 25 feet? So what happens is if you click 2 points, making your camera, sometimes this far clip offset will be set so that what's beyond gets cut off, and it's confusing as to why that happens. What I recommend is, for the most part, what you can do to fix this is either change the clip so it's well beyond whatever it is you're looking at, or turn off the far clip altogether. And that's just turning off this far clip active box. And you can just say, you know what, let's not clip this view at all. Okay, so we're in this view. And well, we're not really seeing much because the camera is set sort of to a default, maybe 35mm lens equivalent. So you have a fairly limited view as to what you're looking at. And the space that we're in is relatively small. I'm going to turn this into a sort of a fisheye lens, kind of like the ones they use to advertise hotel rooms. The room looks huge, but when you actually get there, it's quite small. So let's do that. So we're going to click on the border. We're going to then click on these little grips. See these little blue balls? Those are shape handles for our camera width. And you can expand that out. Let's just zoom out a little bit so it gives us a little bit more room to stretch these. There is a limit, though, to how far you want to stretch them because the camera does become much too distorted. So taking it this far, this is quite a fisheye lens. But if we were to even take it beyond that, notice how this panel is all of a sudden way too distorted. It makes this door look like it's 10 feet wide. So let's just pull that back to about there and we'll zoom in. And now at least we can see everything as we draw, as we model, we'll see everything show up. Let's also do an exterior camera. Even though we're really sort of focusing on the interior layout for now, let's look at how to do the exterior. I'm going to go to the top of floor plan 1. So this is top of floor 1. And just zoom out a little bit. In the quick access toolbar, I'm going to just drop this view down and go to camera. I'm going to click where am I standing, and then where's my target. So I'm going to click here. Now you'll notice we're having that same issue again. It's clipping this off. It's kind of going off into nothingness. Let's resolve that by clicking in some white space here, just going back to the default view properties in our properties palette. And let's just take far clip active off. There, now we can see forever. Okay, we'll click on the border and just expand out what we're looking at. And remember, these 3D views, they're more than just a pretty picture. They're actually helping inform the design. And sometimes you'll spot key issues that may come up in the actual building of the structure. You may find something, hey, we can't build it like that because, and that's all from a camera view. So don't ever discount these. In keeping with our best practices, we need to name these camera views. Where are these camera views stored? Well, they're stored in the project browser under 3D views. And as you make them, it'll just be 3D view 1, 3D view 2, 3, 4. And as you get up to 10, 12, you really start to forget what these really mean. So you want to name them. So how do we do that? Well, let's just click on one. And I'm going to right click on it and then rename it. So we'll call this one interior. And you can use caps locks or whatever you want, depending on your preference. So that's interior. And this one here, we'll hit F2. So the F2 key is also a shortcut for rename in the project browser. This one's going to be an exterior. We already know it's a 3D view, so we should be fine with just that description. So we have an exterior and an interior. That's good to get us going. One last thing. I'm going to go into the top of floor 1. What if you want to see where your camera is in your floor plan? How do you do that? Well, the key is, with this view open, your floor plan, go into your project browser, and under 3D views, find the camera that you want to activate, in this case, interior. I did a single click. Now I'm going to do a right click, and I'm going to say, show camera. I'm going to pick that from my menu. Now it shows the camera, and you could adjust it if you wanted to. You could click on it, drag it, click on the camera vantage point, and drag that as well. As we go, we'll discuss some other options as to how to tweak your 3D views and how to even do walkthroughs, live walkthroughs, recorded walkthroughs. And this is all based upon your camera tools.